Okay, so it's that time of year again, the Christmas shopping. Now, normally I do this list a little bit earlier, but there's two reasons why I haven't. One of the products I was only able to review until literally yesterday, and I think you can all gather which one that is. And number two, it was very difficult to actually think of a list, because normally I did originally top 10, then top 5. This year I'm only going to do top 3, and it's because there's a few rules to it. So, rule number 1, it has to be available now. It can't be something that's, available for pre-order, so no Season 9s here, Season 8 even, and no Weather Fear Special Editions. So, they're not on this list, because if they were on the list, then Season 8 would be at the top. Yeah, Season 8 would be at the top, and then Weatherfield would probably be one behind there. But anyway, let's start things out. So, at number 3 on Doctor Who items to buy this Christmas. So, I always like to throw a big finish in there, and this time I'm throwing in this. This is the Wallmaster Volume 5. And as you can hear, my one, there's actually a disc loose in there, which will remain loose forever because I will never be opening it because I've literally got no need to. So I think at the time of recording this that you can still pick this up for its pre-order price, which I think is £20 for the digital only, and I think it's £25 for the physical edition. With both, obviously, you get a digital copy. Though obviously, there are a ton of these on eBay. Because if you didn't know, what people tend to do with big finishes is that they buy the physical copy off the website, the CD, and then they sell the CD on, but they still have the digital copy. So that's why you see a lot of them on eBay for pretty cheap prices. So, and you can always obviously rip the CD. So yeah, but that's coming in at number 3. And the reason is it is a pretty damn good story. I think it's not quite as good as the Wallmaster Volume 4, but this one, you know what, this one is a pretty enjoyable one. I'd say it was much better than Volumes 2 and 3, especially 2. 2 just kind of felt like it was limping along a bit, but this one generally is a lot better. It feels like it deserves to be, essentially it is one big long story, like most of the Wallmaster box sets, but this one, feels like, this feels more like a 4-hour long story, whereas other ones feel like they're about a 2-hour story stretched out to 4. This one, kind of more justifies the length. I didn't feel like anything in this story was actually dragging out in this one, so yeah, pretty happy with that. So, at number 2, I'm going to recommend a B&M set, and the obvious one to go for is the Core Hill School set. There's the Ace voice. So, yeah, I did just review this now. Obviously, I could put various other B&M sets on here, but the Core Hill School one is the one that I recommend. However, I do realise that it is very difficult to track down at the minute. Unless you live in certain regions, it is really difficult to track down, and even then it's really confusing. For example, this one, I was only able to get it because a friend in Scotland, Reese, thank you again for that, actually got them and sent them down to me. And which is weird because the first B&M to actually get them was Carlisle B&M, which has the same uses the same warehouse as all of my local B&Ms, which is really weird. So, yeah, obviously, COVID has hindered things. So, if I was to say a substitute for this set in one of the B&M sets, then a substitute, I would probably say History of the Daleks set number 3. However, if Daleks aren't really a thing, then I would recommend the 5th Doctor TARDIS set, which is still readily available at the time of recording this. And to be honest, one of my favourite TARDISes. But in terms of these, you know, I will say this is a lot better than History of the Dark Tech 3 and 4 because it has less things wrong with it, really, than that could be helped than with History of the Dark Tech 3 and 4, where they just do random changes for the sake of variance. This one does have a couple of improvements over its original releases. A couple of things wrong with it as well, but still, they are actually really nice. And the Ace figure, you know, 10 out of 10 for the Ace figure, fantastic. But yeah, it also is worth mentioning that the Terror of the Zygons unit set has been reduced to, I can't remember if it's £12 or £12.99, and the why you would ever want it, but the Companions of the 13th Doctor set is also reduced to that same price. Yeah, God knows why you would want that, but that's also an option. So we'll finally get to number 1. What could number 1 be? Well, it's got to be this. The Fury from the Deep Steelbook Blu-ray. This is honestly a much better animation and release in general than pretty much, in my opinion, all of the animated ones that we've had so far. In terms of from Power of the Daleks onwards, I would say. And the reason is because this one generally has had a lot more effort put into it. First of all, starting off with that, this one, you know, obviously since it's the Steelbook, the Steelbooks always have the nicer artwork. I mean, it is just nicer artwork, which is why I always recommend the Steelbooks, which this did go on offer on Black Friday. I don't know if it's still on offer now. Its retail price was £30, but I'm sure you'll be able to pick it up for, I think it went on sale for like £22 or something along those lines, so you can pick it up for a you know, somewhere between them. But yeah, but you know, if you can't find that, or if your budget doesn't stretch, the standard artwork, which I'm going to show here on the little booklet, the standard artwork this time around on the Blu-ray was actually really nice, actually really quite nice actually, but I do prefer the Steelbook artwork. And the Steelbook, it just feels like, you know, you're getting something a little bit extra special. But one of the reasons why I say the animation is better is because this is done by Big Finish Creative rather than Sun and Moon. Now, Sun and Moon started out, you know, a little bit higgledy-piggledy with Power of the Daleks, but, you know, they did show a bit of promise. And then, after the Macra era, or partway, you know, towards the end of that production, a certain someone took over, who was in charge of Sun and Moon animations, at least for the Doc 2 division, and she is infamous for basically half-arsing it. And people, you know, I won't say who, but a certain animator who does, you know, the 3D models and basically CGI work, really doesn't approve of her. I think we all know who that is, but I won't mention him by name. But yeah, but this one is a lot better. It does have obviously it still has a thing with the animation having some mind changes, but like I say, the black and white version of this actually has a lot more effort put into it as well, which is always nice to see. For example, having, you know, the slight blue tint, which, to be honest, you don't notice when watching it, but then when you find out that, oh, it does have it, it just adds that little bit more of authenticity. Obviously, it is in 16:9, which I know some people, you know, hate, but to be honest, I'd rather it being 16:9 than them just cropping it to 4:3 and then you're cropping stuff out, so I'd rather have that than them cropping stuff out. But one of the reasons why I really like this one over the others is, not with a lot of the previous animation releases, they either had pretty much no special features whatsoever, or if they did, they were very minimal and they were just special features, you know, that were taken from other documentaries. For example, Power of the Daleks, the original release took a tiny bit of a special feature from a documentary called The Dalek Tapes, which is a really good special feature on the original Genesis of the Daleks release. This one doesn't have that. This one actually has its own proper special features. And, you know, and it's split across 3 discs. I will say also, this is a reason to pick up the Blu-ray, because for some reason a lot of people still buy the DVD as well in some cases, which I, you know, find a bit stupid. But the documentary, where they go back to the original location, it is really well directed and it looks spectacular. So to be honest, that is a reason to choose even the standard Blu-ray. But my pick is for the Steelbook. It does look, you know, it does just look a lot nicer, and with the Steelbook it means you can get rid of their shit logo very easily. But yeah, that is my number 1 pick. Now, if you don't have this, so if you do have this already, because obviously I know this one has been out a lot longer than the others, then something I would see as a substitute is Power the Daleks Special Edition Blu-ray, but not for the actual animation. In fact, the actual animation is worse in a lot of ways. No, for the special features, because Power the Daleks Special Edition, the special features on that are fantastic, but the main highlight is the Wicker's World. The Wicker's World finally being, you know, released in full, and it's a brand new transfer of it, so it's in full HD. That's actually something, a special feature that is in full HD. Is a really good special feature. So yeah, if you know, you're like me and you bought all of these anyway, then I don't know, there's nothing really I can recommend to you. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe buy one of the real-time productions. The White Witch of Devil's End, I think, came out at some point fairly recently on Blu-ray, I think, because it had a few delays. But that one, I know some people don't like that one, but I found that one enjoyable, at least when I originally watched it. So yeah, but overall, those are my picks on basically stuff you can get for Christmas, either for yourself or for another Doctor Who fan. Who am I kidding? It's for yourself. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I will see you God knows when. Hopefully, you know, when the world hasn't burned up a little bit more. But, you know, I can always set it on fire again. Problem is, this light is bloody broken. Bye-bye.